If you see everything in the world as an illusion, then things like fame, fortune, and even your own body are just things you've borrowed for a while. But if you see everything as real, then your parents, siblings, and all living things aren't separate from you, they're all part of one. When you realize the world is an illusion, and understand that everything is connected as one with you, only then can you truly carry the burdens of life and break free from its restraints. Earthly wealth, fame, and even the body itself are fleeting forms. But when you reach true enlightenment, you see that all things are connected as one. Someone who realizes this can bear all the burdens of the world and be free from worldly attachments. When you reach the highest level in writing, nothing else special happens. You just become natural. When a person's character reaches its highest level, it's not about being different or special, but about being their true self. The ultimate state is about naturalness, not forced skill. The goal of writing isn't to chase some forced uniqueness, but to reach a state where it flows naturally and fits perfectly. Likewise, a perfected character isn't about being strange or different. It's about being pure and true to oneself. It's about getting back to your true self. A person's genuine spirit can make frost fall, even in summer, tear down city walls and pierce through iron and stone. A fake person only looks human on the outside. Their authentic self is long gone. When you face them, their face looks ugly when they're alone. They feel ashamed of their own shadow and reflection. A sincere heart has the power to overcome any obstacle, but someone with a fake heart is empty inside, no matter how they look on the outside. These individuals attempt to appear charming in front of others, but often feel ashamed when they're alone. Truthfulness is the only force that can defeat all challenges and earn respect. To drive away wicked people and stop harmful crowds, you have to give them a way to escape. If they have nowhere to go, it's like blocking every mouse hole. If you shut off every escape, they'll end up destroying everything valuable. Words are like sharp knives, and you should never forget that they can often hurt you too. No way. You can tell a donkey by its long ears, just like you can tell a foolish person by their long tongue. It's better not to speak if what you're going to say doesn't make sense. One meaningless word is useless, even if you say 1,000. It's said that the mouth and tongue are gates that bring disaster and axes that destroy the body. Words that help people are warm like cotton, but harmful words are sharp like thorns. One helpful word is worth 1,000 pieces of gold, but one harmful word hurts like a cut from a knife. The mouth is an axe that harms a person, and the sharp blade cuts the tongue. If you keep your mouth shut and hide your tongue deep, you can stay safe wherever you are.
When meeting someone, speak only half as much as you want and don't reveal all your thoughts. It's not the tiger's 3 mouths that are scary, it's the way people's hearts can change that's genuinely frightening. When you drink with friends, the ceiling feels lower, and if your words don't match, even one word is too much. If what you say doesn't make sense, silence is always the better choice. The mouth and tongue can bring trouble and act like axes that harm the body. Hurtful words are like sharp thorns that leave deep wounds, while kind words wrap around you gently like soft cotton and are worth more than gold. So, holding back unnecessary words and not showing your true feelings too easily is like protecting a pearl deep underwater. Honest conversations are clear, like fresh spring water, and bring endless joy, but talking with someone who doesn't see eye to eye with you is uncomfortable, like a sandstorm in the desert. Remember that a single word can change the world, so we need to think carefully about what we say and how we act. People who don't care about power, fame, riches, or luxury are pure. And those who know about them but aren't influenced by them are even purer. People who don't know how to manipulate or scheme have noble hearts. Those who understand it but choose not to use it have even nobler hearts. When you see good qualities in others, ask yourself if you have those qualities, too. When you notice bad qualities in others, ask yourself if you have those as well. That's how you grow and benefit. Blessings aren't something you can take whenever you want, so nurture a joyful heart, and you'll find happiness. You have to base everything on the fundamentals, and disasters can't just be avoided whenever you want. So, get rid of any harmful thoughts toward others, that's how you keep disaster at bay. Separate your work time from your playtime. Understand the importance of time and make every moment enjoyable and valuable. That way, your youth will be full of happiness, you'll have fewer regrets when you're old, and even if you're poor, you can still live a beautiful life. Don't get drunk on the sweet pleasures of the moment. When it comes to desires, even if they seem good, don't touch them, not even for a second. Once you start, you'll quickly fall into an endless pit. When it comes to loyalty, don't back down just because it's tough. Once you do, you're completely cut off from allegiance. An actual person remains loyal in their situation but avoids intruding or meddling in others' affairs unnecessarily. Life's tough, how are you going to get through it? Human life is like a single grain of rice stored in a vast warehouse, like a flash of lightning. like rotten wood hanging on a cliff, like the rolling waves of the sea. Anyone who understands this reality, how could they?
How could someone not feel sadness? And how could they not find joy? How could anyone fail to realize the true nature of life and still cling to desires? How could someone ignore that awareness and leave behind the shame of a meaningless life? If kindness doesn't come from the heart, a person won't leave a lasting name. If your actions don't match your words, you can't hold a position of respect. Reputation isn't built carelessly, and honor can't be earned through tricks. An actual noble person practices what they preach. Gratitude should start simple and grow deeper over time. If it's strong at first, but fades, later people will forget it. Danger, on the other hand, should begin strictly, but become more lenient as time goes on. If it's lenient at first and stricter later, that doesn't work. When showing kindness, don't overwhelm too much. Let it develop gradually. That way, people will appreciate it more over time. But if you give too much at the start, and then take it away, people will quickly forget the kindness and even feel resentful. As for danger at first, be strict at first, but let up over time. That way, people respect the rules at the start, and later appreciate your kindness, earning you deeper trust and respect. However, if you start lenient and then suddenly become tough, it comes across as cruelty and breeds resentment. Unfortunately, opportunity often beats ability. Remember, luck usually happens when preparation meets opportunity. Honest people control themselves, but dishonest people are ruled by their desires. Cowards only act bold when they feel safe. Tomorrow is just another name for today. If modern people took even a few minutes each day to look at the night sky and think about the universe, our civilization wouldn't be so sick. When you want to entrust someone with a big responsibility first, you need to challenge their spirit, shake their resolve, push them to their limits, and make their body tired and hungry. Also, it disrupts their daily life, so nothing goes as planned. The purpose of this is to temper their patience, so they can truly fulfill their destiny. The goal is to develop the spirit so that you can achieve what you couldn't before. True life begins when small changes start to happen. People often believe their own opinions are correct, and those of others are wrong. They even stubbornly deny what others call the truth. It's dangerous if we only see humans as beasts and ignore their greatness. However, it's just as risky to ignore the flawed side and focus solely on the positive aspects of people. We need to acknowledge both sides of humanity simultaneously. Philosophy is a way to escape ignorance. Always be polite, careful in your work, and honest with others. Then, even if you go far away, you won't be abandoned. Time wears everything down. Everything gradually ages and gets forgotten under its force. The more deeply you think, the more you feel two kinds of joy that fill your heart with wonder. One is the starry night sky, and the other is the moral compass inside you.
When you move forward, you won't face any obstacles. Always check yourself against the sky and moral principles. Be someone who finds their mistakes and reflects on them every time. Even birds worry during heavy rain and wind, and plants turn green with clear skies and fresh breezes. The world changes every day, and our hearts should always be filled with joy. The more you think deeply, the more you realize two kinds of joy fill your heart with wonder. One is the starry sky, and the other is the moral compass inside you. Living by these two as your guide will help you move forward smoothly. Always reflect on yourself through the light of the sky and morality. Be someone who finds and corrects their faults regularly. Being born means first encountering anxiety. It's the root and source of all our fears. Who can truly free themselves from pain, sadness, and loneliness inside? Someone who doesn't live according to their beliefs is someone who doesn't trust their own beliefs. People don't make distinctions from head to toe when it comes to their bodies. If you love someone without any distinction from head to toe, then you care for them equally from head to toe. Just like how even a tiny piece of flesh matters if you truly love, there's no part you'd ignore or neglect. So, taking care of your body well isn't complicated. You take what you need from yourself. In the body, some things are precious and common, things that are small and big. Don't let the small stuff harm the big, and don't let what's common harm what's precious.
Whoever focuses on the small stuff is petty, but those who nurture the big things are magnanimous. Right now, if a gardener leaves valuable trees like Paulownia and Katsura untouched but tends only to thorn bushes, we'd say they're useless at gardening. If you only take care of one finger but ignore your shoulder and back, that's not normal. People look down on those who pay too much attention to food because they focus on the small details and lose sight of the essential things. But if someone who loves food can nurture both their mouth and stomach and still not lose the bigger picture, then eating and digesting isn't just about small bites or just one piece. Are we just going to become like squid flesh? We don't change as we get older, we just become more ourselves. Even if it's tough, steady steps that push forward leave deep footprints, and slow but steady steps go the farthest. When love flows in a person's heart, they won't do bad things, and obedience can achieve more than just virtue. There's never been a free ride on a running cart, and nobody's heard of someone surviving under an overturned boat by holding their breath. A true gentleman doesn't go into dangerous places. Happiness comes from making goodness your own, and goodness lies in eternity. That's why we shouldn't be drawn to things we can't hold on to forever. Life is full of questions, and fools are complete with answers.
Only a nation where everyone is equal before the law can be stable. A father loves, a son is dutiful, older brothers are considerate, and younger siblings are respectful. Even if this reaches the highest level, it's just what should naturally happen, nothing to feel overly emotional about. If the giver acts from virtue, if both the giver and the receiver see it as a favor, then it's like strangers crossing paths on the street suddenly, it turns into a business deal. 8 right ways lead from suffering through the cause of suffering, beyond suffering, and finally to the stopping of anguish. If you truly honor yourself, you'll find the greatest joy and refuge beyond all change, right here and now, freeing yourself from all attachments. First, see things. The world is clouded by ignorance many see but don't see. Evil and doubt block the way like rocks in a stream. Just as it's rare for a bird to escape a net, it's not easy to find peace of mind. Don't focus on others' faults or act wrongly yourself. Always reflect on your actions and know what's right and what's not. Like clear, calm water in a deep pond, a wise person listens to the truth and finds peace in their heart. Second, always think deeply. Let your mind be your teacher. Don't look for teachers outside yourself. Those who use their mind as their teacher gain true wisdom. Third, speak honestly and rightly, even from the very first word. If you're not righteous, it's all for nothing. A single righteous word is truly a word of life that brings peace to the heart. However, if someone lies without following even one of the teachings, it means they don't consider the afterlife, and they end up committing all kinds of sins. Please refrain from using harsh words, as they'll come back to haunt you. Trouble and hardship will come your way, and punishment will fall on your head. Fourth, act rightly. Those who sincerely seek the teachings will receive the proper guidance, reaching a world beyond suffering and even conquering death. People who learn from the reckless are like racing horses, leaving others behind. They abandon evil and become kind. Fifth, live properly. The scent of flowers can't go against the wind, just like the fragrance of hibiscus in the breeze. Someone who follows the teachings carries a scent that blows steadily with or against the wind. A reasonable person's presence is fragrant and noticeable wherever they go. 6. Be pure and diligent. Even those who were once reckless, if they work hard without laziness, will shine their light on both mind and world, just like the sun breaking through clouds. Think clearly like the 7th moon. Always guard your heart, stop yourself from doing wrong, hold back anger and resentment, let go of distracting thoughts, think deeply, and reflect. My life is already peaceful, so I don't hold on to grudges or anger. People may blame me, but I go on without resentment. Resentment can't be solved with more resentment, and it won't bring you peace.
Only by patience can you let go of bitterness. This is an unchanging truth. 8th, calm your mind. Don't get angry or agitated like a pig, be steady like a mountain and pure like water. Those who are like this escape the cycle of life and death. If you want to live alone in this world, you have to be either a god or an animal. Choose one. It's better to live simply as an ordinary, even ignorant person, than to live as a lonely genius. If you think you can't do something, it means you've already decided you don't want to do it, so that it won't happen. Ignorance only degrades a person when paired with wealth. Poverty and hardship trap the poor, and labor replaces knowledge. He captures her heart. On the other hand, a foolish rich man lives only for pleasure and leads a life close to that of livestock. If the principle isn't sound, the orders don't make sense. If the orders don't make sense, things won't get done if things don't get done. Punishments won't be fair, and if punishments aren't fair, the people have nowhere to turn. What matters in a happy marriage isn't how well you match, but how you overcome your differences. The one who gets betrayed gets hurt, but the one who betrays is usually in an even worse state. Experience without theory is blind, and theory without experience is just empty bragging. If you're not happy with your life now, you won't be satisfied with your future life either. People travel not to reach their destination, but to enjoy the journey itself. Successful people develop the habit of doing things that those who fail hate to do. We're all born with similar natures, but habits are what make us different. Habits become actions, and actions shape your life. Only someone who's truly alone can fully understand friendship. Knowing joy, some people have family, but for the lonely and wanderers, friends are everything. Just like how the energy of the world thrives in warmth and withers in the cold, a person's character and temperament also influence the fortune they receive. Only those who have a warm heart and spirit will keep their blessings and enjoy lasting grace. Officials who act selfishly and crookedly lose their way and regret it later. The wealthy regret when they don't manage their resources carefully. Skills not learned in youth bring regret when it's too late. Lessons not absorbed when needed lead to regret. Speaking carelessly when drunk causes regret when sober. Ignoring health when well leads to regret when sick. Kindness makes the world a better place. It resolves all blame, untangles conflicts, eases challenging situations, and turns despair into joy. If you can't stabilize the fundamentals, don't bother with minor issues. Don't try to find friends far away if you can't get along with those nearby. Family.
If you don't follow through, don't try to make friends with people outside of your group. When handling tasks, if you can't make clear decisions and cut things off properly, don't hold on to too much. Don't chase after being knowledgeable without really understanding even one thing correctly. It's easy to lament a lack of opportunities, but the time you spend lamenting is the opportunity itself. It's hard to realize this. It's like thinking about the fish you missed or forgetting to bring fishing bait. There's no difference. Being a good person means being honest and sincere. If you're not, no matter how much you work for others, in the end, you're just filling yourself up. Don't scold others for minor mistakes. Don't pry into their secrets, and don't hold grudges for significant faults in your hearts. These three things help you nurture virtue and also keep away harm. A generous mind is like a spring breeze that helps things grow, making all living things come alive. A bitter person is like a north wind that freezes everything and kills life. When making friends leaves some warmth in your feelings, if there's still some affection left unsaid, you won't get tired of the friendship and it'll last longer. When bringing all living things to life, leave some energy in reserve, in case you don't use up all your strength. You can prevent unexpected problems from happening. Misfortune often starts when you let your guard down. So when you feel satisfied, quickly change your mindset. Every failure brings a chance to succeed. Just because things don't go your way, don't give up right away. There are 10 essential life lessons you'll realize someday. Goodbyes make love feel more precious. If you truly loved someone, that love never really disappears or dies. Even when the person you love is gone, love stays. It becomes stronger and more beautiful. No matter how good parents are, being a great teacher is a challenging task. Some people think their job as parents is to make rules and force them, and continually control everything. But that makes kids weak and pessimistic. Some people avoid taking responsibility by using being sick as an excuse. We tend to be more lenient with those who are unwell. So when someone wants someone else's love or tries to avoid painful situations, they often choose to appear helpless. Unnecessary fear only gets in the way of true happiness. Our society bombards us with all kinds of things. War, terror, poverty, illness, business failures. They all mess with our happiness just by being possible. Parents can't solve every problem their kids face. If you want to be a great parent, don't try to control them instead. Let them follow you. The most important thing is to give your kids the belief and courage that they can be happy no matter what. We tend to romanticize painful memories, and these memories often resurface as idealized illusions. The problem with clinging to romanticized memories is that it makes people unsatisfied with the present and anxious about the future.
The last big question in life is how to prepare for a beautiful old age. Relying on your kids in times of loneliness is no longer acceptable. Facing the losses of old age with dignity and willpower is our last chance to be truly brave. It's okay to be disappointed with the world, but there's no need to live life so seriously. Finding hope and love despite all the nonsense and despair, and having the courage to laugh no matter what, that's what matters. Showing what you're truly capable of is humanity's greatest strength. How we handle tough times shapes the outcome of our lives. Most of the time, we have the choice of how we respond. That applies to dealing with delays and setbacks as well. The way we approach challenges can significantly alter the course of our lives. Forgiveness isn't for others, it's a gift you give yourself. It's not about giving up or forgetting, but about actively choosing to change. Letting go of resentment or the desire for revenge takes real inner growth, and that kind of growth doesn't just happen on its own. People often confuse character with reputation. Character is the true nature of a person's heart, while reputation is how others happen to see and talk about them. Anyone who's never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Deep down, pure wishes always come true. Personal freedom isn't just a gift from civilization. Humans were far freer before civilization even existed. Doing good and following the way of kindness. Living and finding peace, and that is kindness. A wise person eagerly desires what benefits themselves, but the beginning of such desire is risky. However, no matter what, if you don't start, nothing ever begins. When you ignore the world, pay attention to those who break through your walls. Never tolerate others' actions that ruin your inner peace. One must first teach oneself before teaching others. A lack of wealth doesn't cause poverty, but rather an increased desire. Those above don't need to concern themselves with trivial matters like vessels for ritual fruits. There are people assigned to handle those. There will be bigger matters to attend to. Only those who freely agree by their own will, according to pure reason, are truly free. Mental growth can't happen without suffering, nor can life improve without it. Suffering is an essential part of life. Great people don't seek respect, they focus on their goals. It's better to laugh at life than to complain about it. What we can do alone is small, but together, we can achieve big things. Grab opportunities quickly like storms. Once they pass, they never come back. Being busy shortens time. It's not time that you can't bear. Solitude is a friend to everyone. It's one of the easiest friends to have. Merchants befriend others for profit, while proud folks make friends to flatter. Even bad laws are still laws. I can't break them. Happiness always looks small when you hold on to it, but once you lose it, you'll realize how big and valuable it truly is. A person is just what they make of themselves. It's not chance but a matter of choice. That's the first rule of existentialism. A nation is like a mother. It lights my way and gives me new courage to face life cheerfully every time. Ideals are kindness, beauty, and truth. Human effort and possession are external things. Cliché things like success and luxury are always contemptible. Pouring water on burning logs cools them down all the way through, but apologizing to someone furious won't put out the fire inside their heart. A great person isn't born special. They become great by wisely using what's around them. If you hold back your anger even once, you can avoid 100 days of worries. People gain the most wisdom through books. Let me repeat it. If you see everything in the world as an illusion, then your reputation and even your body are just things you're temporarily borrowing. But if you see everything as real, then your parents, siblings, and all things in the world are part of you. They are not separate. When you understand that the world is an illusion and realize that all things are connected as one, you can finally take on the burdens of the world and break free from its traps. Material wealth, fame, and even the body are just empty forms. But when you reach true enlightenment, you see that everything is connected as one. People who realize this can carry all the burdens of the world and the superficial. When you reach the highest level of freeing yourself from constraints, there's no special trick. It's just about being natural. When your character reaches its peak, there's nothing unusual about it. You become your true self. True mastery isn't about artificial skills, but about naturalness. The ultimate goal of writing isn't forcing something unique. It's about being natural and perfectly fitting. Likewise, the perfect character isn't about standing out, but returning to your original pure and genuine nature. A person's accurate determination can be as cold as frost in summer, break down walls, and pierce through iron and stone. A fake person only looks human on the outside, but their true self is gone. When you meet such people, their faces seem ugly, and when they're alone, they feel ashamed of themselves and their own shadow. A sincere heart has the power to overcome all obstacles, but a fake heart is empty inside with only a superficial appearance. People like this often seem unappealing to others and feel ashamed when they are alone. People tend to feel embarrassed. Being sincere is the real strength that helps you overcome any obstacle and the only way to earn respect. To defeat cunning people and stop foolish nonsense, you've got to give them a way to escape. If you leave them nowhere to go, it's like blocking a mouse hole. When there's no escape route, they'll end up destroying everything valuable. Words are like sharp blades, so don't forget that they can hurt you a lot. You can tell a donkey by its long ears, and you can tell a foolish person by their long tongue. Confucius said it's better not to speak if what you have to say doesn't make sense. One wrong word can ruin 1,000 right ones. A wise person said that the mouth and tongue can bring disaster and act like an axe that harms your own body. Words that help others feel warm, like cotton, but harmful words are sharp like thorns. A single helpful word is worth its weight in gold, while a harmful one hurts like being cut by a knife. The mouth can be an axe that harms you, and the tongue a blade that cuts deep. Better to keep your mouth shut and your tongue in check. If you keep things to yourself, you can stay comfortable anywhere. When meeting people, only speak a third of what you think and don't reveal all your feelings. It's not the tiger with three mouths that's scary, but the fact that people's hearts can change in two ways that's what's truly frightening. When you meet friends over drinks, even the ceiling feels lower, but if the conversation doesn't flow, even one word feels too much. If what you say doesn't make sense, it's better to stay silent. The mouth and tongue can bring disaster and act like an axe that harms your body. Harmful words leave deep wounds like sharp thorns, but helpful words wrap you warmly like soft cotton and are worth their weight in gold. So, hold back unnecessary words, and don't expose your true feelings too easily. It's like protecting pearls deep underwater. Honest conversations are clear like spring water and bring endless joy. But talking to someone who doesn't share your views is just uncomfortable, like a desert sandstorm. Remember that one word can change the world, so be careful with what you say and do. Power, fame, profit, and luxury. If you don't know something, you're pure. But even purer is someone who knows it and remains unenmeshed in it. A person who is unaware of scheming or tricks has a noble heart. Even nobler is someone who knows about them but chooses not to use them. When you see good qualities in others, ask yourself if you have those too. When you notice bad qualities in others, check if you have those as well. Doing this brings real benefits. Blessings can't just be taken whenever you want, so cultivate a joyful heart to invite happiness into your life. Disasters can't always be avoided, so getting rid of harmful thoughts is a way to keep misfortune at bay. Make a clear distinction between work time and playtime. Understand how precious time is, and spend every moment happily and usefully. Then your youth will be full of joy, old age will be less bitter, and even in poverty, you can live a beautiful life. Don't get drunk on momentary pleasures. When it comes to desires, don't even touch them for a second, not even to enjoy the benefits briefly. Once you start, it leads to endless trouble. You'll end up falling into a pit. When it comes to loyalty, don't shy away from difficulties or back down even a little. Once you do, you're completely disconnected from allegiance. A noble person stays true to their situation but also avoids meddling or interfering unnecessarily in others' affairs. Life's tough. How are you going to get through it? Human life is like a large warehouse full of medicine. A flash of lightning, rotten wood hanging on a cliff, or the restless waves of the sea. Someone who truly understands this reality can't help but feel both sadness and joy. How could anyone fail to realize this truth about life and still keep craving it? And how could they not respect this awareness, leaving behind only the shame of a wasted life? If goodness doesn't come from the heart, a person leaves no lasting name. If actions don't match words, one can't hold a position. Reputation isn't something you build carelessly, and tricks can't craft honor. A true gentleman is someone who leads by example. Gratitude should start and grow deeper with time, beginning with, the impact was substantial at first, but as it fades, people tend to forget the kindness behind it. When dealing with risks, it's best to start strict and then gradually become more lenient. If you begin too lenient and get stricter later, it can feel overwhelming. This way, people appreciate the kindness more over time. On the other hand, if you're overly generous at first and then pull back, people easily forget the favor and end up feeling resentful. Therefore, it's better to be strict about risks initially and then ease up as time passes. This makes people respect the risk, and as you become more forgiving later, you gain greater trust and respect. But if you start easy and suddenly get strict later, there are more chances than ability. Remember, luck often happens when opportunity meets someone ready. Honest people control themselves, while dishonest ones are controlled by their desires. Cowards only act tough when they feel safe. Tomorrow is just another word for today. Even modern folks should take a few minutes each day to look up at the night sky and wonder about the universe. If you think about it, modern civilization wouldn't have gotten so messed up like this. When you want to entrust someone with a big task in the future, you first have to challenge their mind, shake their will, put them through pain, wear out their body, and even let them go hungry. You also have to make their life tough so things don't go smoothly. The reason for this is to toughen their patience and spirit so they can handle the mission from heaven. This way, they can achieve things they never could before. True life begins when small changes happen. People often claim that their own opinions are correct and others are wrong. They refuse to accept that what others say is the truth. It's dangerous if all we see are just the faults in humans, making them no better than animals. However, on the other hand, it's also risky if we only focus on their greatness and overlook their flaws. We have to talk about both sides of human nature at the same time. Philosophy is about escaping ignorance. Always be humble, work carefully, and treat people sincerely. If you do that, then even if you go to the ends of the earth, you'll be just fine. Even if you stumble, you won't be abandoned. Time wears down everything, all things age slowly under its power and are forgotten as time passes. The more you think about it, the more you find two joys that fill your heart with fresh wonder. One is the starry night sky, and the other is the sense of morality within your own heart. If you make these two your guides in life, you'll face no obstacles. Always reflect on yourself in the light of the sky and your sense of morality. Make it a habit to find your faults and learn from them every time. Just as birds worry during fierce storms and plants flourish in clear weather with a gentle breeze, change is inevitable in the world. And joy should always be present in your heart. The deeper you think about this, the more you realize these two joys fill your heart with new amazement: the sparkling stars above and the moral law within. Let these be your compass in life, and you won't be stopped. Keep checking yourself against the sky and your inner morality, and always be someone who recognizes and improves upon your mistakes. To be born means to experience anxiety for the first time, so birth is the source and origin of anxiety. Who can go through life without pain in their heart or separate themselves from sadness and loneliness? A person who doesn't live according to their own beliefs is someone who doesn't trust those beliefs. People love their bodies without distinction from head to toe. If you love yourself that way, you'll take care of yourself that way, too. If you don't love every inch of your body, you won't properly care for any part of it. So, how else can you know if you're taking good care of yourself? You observe what you take from yourself. The body has precious and worthless parts, big and small parts, so don't let the small things harm the big or the unimportant things damage the valuable. Those who nurture the small become petty people. Those who promote the big become great people. If a gardener ignored the paulownia and chestnut trees and instead cared only for thorns, that gardener would be useless. They say only to grow one finger on your hand, and even as it connects your shoulders and back. If you don't understand that, you're not a normal person. People who are obsessed with food are often looked down upon because they focus on small details and lose sight of the bigger picture. But if someone who loves food can feed their mouth and stomach without losing sight of the bigger picture, then eating and digesting isn't just about a small piece of meat or a bit of fish. We don't just change as we get older, we become more ourselves. Even if it's tough, a strong, steady step leaves a deeper mark, and a slow but steady pace takes you the farthest. When love flows in a person's heart, they don't do bad things, and obedience can achieve more than just virtue. I've never heard of free drinks causing trouble or someone looking for trouble after overturning a boat. A true gentleman avoids dangerous places. Happiness comes from making good things your own, and good things are eternal. That's why we shouldn't be drawn to things we can't keep forever. Life is just a big bunch of questions. A fool is just a bundle of wrong answers. Only a country where everyone is equal before the law can be stable. A father loves, a son is dutiful, an older brother is considerate, and a younger brother respects. Even if they reach the highest level of devotion, it's just what they're supposed to do, so nothing is awe-inspiring or touching about it. If the giver thinks they're doing a favor out of virtue, and the receiver sees it as kindness, then it's like strangers passing by on the street suddenly becoming business partners. 8 right paths lead from suffering, through the cause of suffering, beyond suffering, to the end of suffering. If you truly turn to yourself, you'll find the greatest happiness and an unmatched refuge right here, freeing you from all kinds of pain. First, see things. The world is clouded by ignorance. Some people see, but they don't truly understand, because evil and doubt block their vision. Just like how rare it is for a bird to escape a net, it's not easy to find peace of mind. Don't focus on others' mistakes, don't do wrong yourself, and constantly reflect on yourself and what's right. 1. Know what you know. Just like clear water stays pure in a deep pond, a wise person hears the truth and finds peace in their heart. 2. Always reflect. Make your mind your teacher. Don't look for a teacher outside yourself. Those who use their mind as a guide gain true wisdom. 3. Speak correctly. Even if you say 1,000 words, if they're not just and fair, they're useless. One honest word brings peace to the heart and is truly life-giving. If you don't follow any teachings and lie, you're ignoring the afterlife and will end up committing all kinds of wrongs. Don't speak harmful words. They'll come back to you, bringing trouble and punishment. 4. Act right. Those who genuinely seek teachings will receive the proper guidance, reach beyond suffering, and transcend death. Unless you control yourself, your next life will have many hardships, like a racehorse that outpaces the others. Abandon evil and become kind. 5. Live right. Just like a flower's scent can't resist the wind, the scent of the lotus leaf is the same. The fragrance of a person who follows teachings stays strong through good times and bad it never fades. A reasonable person's scent can be sensed anywhere. 6. Be pure and diligent. Even someone careless before can change if they work hard and don't slack off. This will brighten both their mind and the world around them, like the moon shining through clouds. 7. Think rightly. Always watch your thoughts to stop yourself from doing bad things. Control anger and resentment, eliminate negative thoughts, and cultivate kindness and the right path. My life is already peaceful. I don't hold grudges or anger. People often blame others, but blame doesn't solve anything or bring peace. Only patience can dissolve grudges. This is an unchanging truth. 8. Calm your mind. Don't get angry or agitated like a wild pig. Be steady like a mountain and pure like water. Those who do this escape the cycle of life and death. If you want to live alone in this world, you have to become either a god or an animal. It's better to live as an ordinary person, even if it means pretending to be ignorant, than to be a lonely genius. That's true wisdom. While you think you can't do something, you're just convincing yourself you don't want to do it. So, it never actually gets done. Ignorance combined with wealth is what truly lowers a person's dignity. Poverty and hardship trap the poor, and hard work wears down their spirit. On the other hand, a wealthy but ignorant person lives for pleasure, like an animal. If things don't make sense, commands won't either. If commands don't make sense, nothing gets done. If nothing gets done, punishments aren't fair, and if punishments aren't fair, there's nowhere to turn. In a happy marriage, what matters isn't how well you match, but how you get past your differences. The one who's betrayed gets hurt, but the one who betrays ends up in an even worse spot. Experience without theory is blind, and theory without experience is just empty ideas. If you're not satisfied with your current life, you won't be happy with your future life either. People travel because it's not about getting there, but about enjoying the journey. Successful people make a habit of doing things that others don't want to do. Everyone's nature is the same, but habits are what make the difference. Habits become actions, and actions shape life. Only those who are alone truly know the pure joy of friendship. Others have family, but for the lonely and wanderers, friends are everything. The energy of the world thrives when it's warm and dies when it's cold. Likewise, if a person's character or temperament is cold, blessings are scarce. Only those with a warm heart receive lasting blessings and kindness. Officials who act selfishly and crookedly regret it when they lose favor. The wealthy often regret not managing their wealth properly. Skills not learned in youth bring regret later. Tasks not learned when needed cause regret when the time comes. Speaking carelessly when drunk leads to regret once sober. Neglecting caution when healthy leads to sickness and regret. Kindness makes the world a better place. It resolves all blame, untangles complexities, and overcomes difficulties. Make work easier and turn tough times into something enjoyable. If you can't get the basics right, don't try to handle local issues. Don't look for friends far away if you're not close to the people around you. If your relatives don't support you, don't try to build friendships outside. When dealing with tasks, if you can't commit or let go, don't take on too much. Don't chase after something you don't fully understand. It's easy to complain about missed opportunities, but the moment you're complaining is often the opportunity itself, and that's hard to realize. It's like worrying about a fish that got away, or forgetting to bring the bait. Character is all about honesty and being genuine with your family and close ones, because it always shows in the end. Your mindset shouldn't carry even a tiny bit of resentment. If it is, no matter how much you work for others, you're just filling your walls. Don't scold others for minor mistakes, don't dig up their private secrets, and don't hold onto their significant faults in your heart. Through these three things, you can foster virtue and also keep away harm. A person with a generous mindset feels like they're the spring breeze that nurtures them. When all things encounter this, they come back to life. But a person with a harsh mindset is like the north wind. When everything meets them, it dies. When making friends, leave some warmth behind. If you don't give all your feelings at once, you won't get tired of people and can maintain friendships longer. When working, save some energy. If you don't use it all up, you can better handle unexpected situations. Being favored often plants the seeds of misfortune, so when you're satisfied, quickly switch your focus. Every failure carries a guaranteed chance of success, so don't give up just because things aren't going your way. You'll understand sooner or later. Here are 10 truths about life you'll come to realize parting makes you appreciate love even more. If you truly love someone, that love never disappears, it doesn't die. Even when the person you love is gone, love remains, becoming stronger and more beautiful. No matter how good parents are, being a great teacher is a challenging task. Some believe that constantly setting rules, forcing obedience, and controlling everything is what makes good parents. However, the result is often just a child who is weak and pessimistic. Some people use being sick as an excuse to avoid responsibility. We tend to be more forgiving toward those who are ill. So when someone wants love or tries to escape a painful situation, they often choose a way that doesn't involve facing their body or reality. Unnecessary fear only gets in the way of true happiness. Society makes us anxious with all kinds of things: war, terrorism, poverty, illness, and business failures. They all threaten our happiness just by existing as possibilities. Parents can't solve all their children's problems. If you want to be a great parent, don't control, but lead by example so they follow you. The most important thing is to instill in your kids the belief and courage that they can be happy no matter what life throws at them. Bitter memories tend to get romanticized. Memories often come back as romantic illusions. The problem with people who cling to those romanticized pasts is that they're not satisfied with the present and worry too much about the future. The final question in life is how to prepare for a beautiful old age. Relying on your kids for companionship in old age is no longer something people welcome. You might feel like you can't do it, but enduring the losses of old age with dignity and determination is our last chance to be truly brave. It's okay to be disappointed with the world, but there's no need to take life too seriously. Even amid all the absurdities and despair, finding hope and living with love is what matters. Having the courage to laugh no matter the situation is humanity's greatest strength. How we deal with hardships shapes our lives. In most cases, we have the freedom to choose our reactions. The same goes for facing trials. Our choice of how to handle them inevitably changes our lives. Forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, not to others. It's not about giving up or forgetting, but an active commitment to change. Letting go of resentment or revenge requires inner growth, and that growth doesn't just happen on its own. People often confuse character with reputation. Character is the true nature of a person's heart, while reputation is how others perceive them. External opinions are just people judging as they please. Anyone who's never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Deep down, pure wishes always come true. Personal freedom isn't a gift from civilization. Humans were way freer before civilization existed. A genuinely kind person acts with benevolence, lives by its principles, and finds peace in it. A wise person pursues what benefits themselves with care. Every beginning is risky, but if you don't start, nothing ever does. When you ignore the world, pay attention to those who break through your walls. Never tolerate others' behavior that messes with your inner peace. You must first teach yourself before you can effectively teach others. Poverty isn't caused by having less wealth but by wanting more. People in power don't need to worry about small stuff like the fruit used in rituals. That's for those assigned to handle it.